as a nation, we have a pressing message. I want people understand. Whether you represent for Isaac Buchanan as a bridge, I know I'm running in politics thing and a lot of people take it out of proportion along political divide. And we understand that this is Jamaica. You know what I mean? A politically harsh environment. But remember this, Vybz Kartel, first and foremost, my allegiance is to the people of Jamaica. Whether you're PNP, whether you're Labourite, Vybz Kartel allegiance is to the people of Jamaica. Because Jamaica make me rich. You understand? Yes. And me and Isaac good. Me and Daryl Vaz good. Me don't know him wife, but she look like a cool lady to me. You know what I mean? So, big up Miss Vaz and thing, yeah. So, the point I try to make is this. Don't get the thing twisted. Me's an artist first and a businessman next. And Isaac is a friend of mine. Daryl Vaz is a friend of mine. Because I known him for years. Matter of fact, I know him from like 2008, 2009. You know what I mean? So, don't get the thing twisted. I want Jamaica, me say. Because if I go over there, so the youth, them are going to lift me up. And if I go over here, so the youth, them are going to lift me up. Why if he lift me up? But you know what I mean? Don't?
The party is not concerned with Kartel's neutral stance. PNP General Secretary, the pedophile, Dayton Campbell, says that the party is not concerned with Kartel's neutral stance. I hope Vybz Kartel listen to this video. The party is not concerned with Kartel's neutral stance. Don't worry about the rest of it. The party is not concerned. Just those 5 words. Just concentrate on those 5 words. Hello everyone, Karen Cecilia here. Yeah, I know. You all miss me. I miss you too. I'm not discussing the US election thing. I am dealing with my own coping mechanism, which I am operating in a little shell and not watching anything and not listening to anything and not participating in anything. I am just not there so yet. But I feel that I need to weigh in on the whole Vybz Kartel thing, because Dayton Campbell's statement is a clear indication that they were using Vybz Kartel, using him to boost the conference, using him to help them prepare for that bogus poll that Dan Anderson went and did afterwards, using him to get Isaac Buchanan into East Portland to see if them can unnerve Mrs. Vaz, and these people just never learn. Using him for their own political good. Dayton Campbell, the pedophile general secretary, Angela Brown Burke, the witch chairman, and Mark Golding, the British-born Englishman, using Vybz Kartel to see if them can win an election. And Vybz Kartel don't seem to have any people around him. I am totally flabbergasted by the whole thing regarding him. Totally flabbergasted by it. Because I am a Hollywood follower. I mean, I have my favorite people that I follow up. You know? And when anybody in Hollywood get into trouble, any trouble at all, one of the first thing they do is check into some kind of place, some kind of therapy. I remember when Michael Douglas admitted to the world that he suffers from sex addiction, and he went to a sexual place somewhere in Idaho or Utah, because it seems like them look place that them have those things. Spent about 7 months down there to deal with his sexual addiction. I don't even know why that need any kind of dealing with, but that is how it is. When them get in trouble, them have them publicists, they have their media persons who go out and talk and put out statements and them resting and stuff. And it seems to me, Mr. Vybz Kartel, and I hope somebody please send him this video for me now. Somebody send Vybz Kartel this. Him need to listen to this seriously. It seems to me like him don't have anybody. Him don't have people. Him don't have a PR team. Him don't have a publicist. Him don't have somebody that deal with media for him. It looks like it's just him and him wife and him children and the TikTok and the traveling and the helping people, which is a good thing. I applaud that. You know, and the whole heap of excitement and the club going and all of them kind of things. It don't appear that him have anybody, because if he did have a team, they would have tell him from day one when he come through those prison doors, take off that damn orange handkerchief. You wouldn't see him face, you wouldn't see him at all. They would have carry him out somewhere quietly and get him on a plane and get him into Utah or Idaho or North Dakota or South Dakota or one place where them have these funny farms where him can get some help. And I don't mean to say that him mad or anything like that, but him need help. You need help, Mr. Kartel. You do. This has been a tough 13 years for you. You were locked up. You were charged for murder. And you were locked up in prison for 13 years. Your fan base never hear you, them never see you. You feel ashamed. You feel bad. You hate people. Most of all, you hate Lizard. Because even though him dead, you say it's not you. The court, the system charged you for the murder, found you guilty for the murder, sent you away. So him you hate the most. And I'm not a psychiatrist or a therapist. I'm just telling you what the human condition is. And it bothers you. It bothers you that you were away for 13 years. You're never in the thick of things. 13 years pass. All kind of, when you left here, there was no TikTok. And you came back and you're TikToking like hell. So I'm saying to you that you need to take a breather. You really, really need to take a breather. But you have nobody to tell you that this was not the way for you to come out. You came out with a bang. And everybody that greeted you, everybody that greeted Vybz Kartel, everybody wanted a piece of him for their own self. Everybody. The pedophile Dayton Campbell, the witch Angela Brownberg, Mark Golding, everybody, but mostly those three, wanted to use him to boost the PNP conference and to boost the PNP candidates and to give Isaac Buchanan East Portland seat and to have Vybz Kartel going around the country in an orange handkerchief and then send out the Dan go to the bogus poll. All of that was wrapped up into all of that. Him come out, him come to the conference, then send out the Dan. All of that to use him. And now, this pedophile, the only thing he could have said from Vybz Kartel's statement is that the party is not concerned. The party is not concerned. They were never concerned about him. They never had the decency or the goodness in them. They have never had it. And Angela don't know what that is. Him worse, because if you're sleeping underage, it means that you don't have the decency in you. Them couldn't look at him and see that him need help. They couldn't look at him and say, boss, we appreciate your help with all of this, But hear this, you need to look after yourself now. You need to look after yourself. We'd like to give you some advice. No, them can't give no advice about that. All they want to do is use him for their political purpose. While he is suffering. And the only person who knows that he's suffering is him. Nobody seemed to be aware or nobody seemed to be concerned, for want of a better word, about his well-being. Seriously, Jamaica. Does Vybz Kartel look like a well man to any of you? Man falling down, coming out of club. People have to lift him up. The man have not had the opportunity to go away somewhere. Him just come and just jump right in. The money, the excitement, the vibes, the crowd, the adoration, the bigging up. I mean, it is sick. It is sick that nobody, not one person who wants to get a piece of him, have said to him, you don't look well. You don't look well. Because I would have certainly tell him, I'd have said, man, you look like crap. You if you jump on a plane, there's this place. Ask Will Smith. Yeah, or ask Amber Heard. Yeah, ask Luke Owen. Ask one of them guys. Ask the Hollywood big shot them. They'll be able to tell you there's several places you can go. Go recoup your health. Talk to somebody. Get yourself back into a positive frame of mind instead of outside on TikTok and in social media trying to live it live. You can't live hurt live, Mr. Kartel. You're hurting and you are displaying this hurt, and the only coping mechanism you have is the excitement that you need, because it's like air. It's like air for him. The excitement, the vibes. Everybody want a piece. Boy, Vybz Kartel give me $70,000 and what bag goes to put in my yard. Good thing that. Very good thing that. What about you? What about you, Mr. Kartel? You can't serve yourself and your children and your fans them. You can't serve them well if you not well. And nobody don't tell you this yet. But even worse, not even you don't recognize it yet, Mr. Kartel. Because what propelled you to come out and say what you said? Firstly, I am a Jamaican. I am an artist. And I am a businessman. Those are the three words those are the three things you cited. I am a Jamaican, which makes you a resistance now, because we're the only ones seem to be saying that, country first. And by saying that you're a Jamaican, you are basically admitting, Mr. Kartel, that the country is split 50-50, 50 green and 50 orange. Let's put it at that. Let's not go into the nitty-gritty and the fine details of the numbers. But half the country green, half the country orange. You can't survive and breathe as a businessman and as an artist in one side of the country. It means that you have isolated the other side of the country. And that isolation puts your business in jeopardy. And it is that jeopardy that made you come out and said what you said, trying to make amends with the Vyzes. Now, Mr. Vybz is a powerful man within the government. I mean, him come from political royalty. Basically, you need the infrastructure of the current government in order for your concert to be successful. The Jamaica Tourist Board, the Tourism Product Development Company, the entire entertainment and sports industry, the entire entertainment industry headed by Minister Vybz Grange. And her reach is far and wide. She can make and break things. She can, believe me when I tell you that. She can make and break it. She is internationally renowned and respected for her involvement in the entertainment industry as Minister of Entertainment, responsible for entertainment in Jamaica. And in your first 3 months free, you basically isolated that entire section of the country. Realize that you're showing problem now, and you decided to come out and say this. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing that you come out and say this. Not a bad thing. But you still don't recognize that this might not come off as good as you need it to be, Because you need the oxygen. I know you need the vibes. You need it to be successful. You want it to be successful. You have a great need for it to be successful. Matter of fact, because you have not taken any time out to go get the help that you need, Mr. Kartel. If it is not successful, it could have dire effect on your psychological and emotional being. It could, if it is not the resounding success that you need it to be. It could make things worse in your mind. And now, to add insult to injury, you went out and you said it. I'm a Jamaican first. I'm an artist. I'm a businessman. And Dayton Campbell responded to that by saying, the party is not concerned. The same one that led you to the podium at the annual conference of the PMP. And have your hand up in the air and slapping your back and bigging you up. And his response to what you said is, the party is not concerned. They're not concerned about you. They never were. They will never be concerned about you. They can be concerned with trying to get back to Parliament. Angela and him in a frenzy to see if them can win, because they both know that their ass is dark if them no win. They were using Vybz Kartel to boost themselves, to boost Mark. See that? Kartel are roll with Mark. Yeah, man, a Vybz Kartel we have. The whole PMP across the whole country in our arms. Yeah, man, it's a Kartel are roll with Mark. Kartel are roll with Mark. And after them get that out and get him at the conference, then them send the Dan go to the bogus poll. And all things wrapped up because Kartel are roll with Mark. And Kartel now realize that his brand, his business is damaged by this. The look. And him not thinking that, Vybz Kartel not thinking that it's not only the PMP alignment that is damaging him. Him not thinking that him a walk around or drop down too. Him not thinking that his own overexposure and coming out of prison. The overexposure that he himself has undertaken, because him now have no people to tell him what to do. And if he does have people, PR and strategists and all the people to tell him what to do, and he's not listening, them should go look at our work. Because you can't get a client to listen for the sake of the business and his own physical and mental and psychological strength, and you can't get him to listen, then you're in the wrong business. So if he does have people, them need to go look at his work. And him come out, not his people. Him have to come out because him have to be his own spokesman. Because him want the limelight. Him need the limelight because it is oxygen for him. He missed it. It's 13 years of his life. He has not had it. And so he felt that him was the one who need to come out. So even if him have people, he make them come out. But it's them supposed to be doing statements. It's the people supposed to be doing statements and talking to the media. And have this pedophile who is way, way down below Vybz Kartel. Way below Vybz Kartel. Because you can say all that you want about Vybz Kartel, but don't accuse him of sleeping with underage picnic. But this fool to come out and respond to Vybz Kartel saying that him not gonna deal with him business thing and him artist thing, and him want to deal with it as a full Jamaican. So him kind want, because basically what him said, him want to include the whole Jamaica. And him never issue an apology. Him never just say, boy, but me do this thing wrong. Because by doing what I did with the PMP, we isolate half the country, and I want to make that right. But he said some things that would suggest that that is what he meant. He did. He said some things. Talk about Mrs. Vaz and all, and Mr. Vaz. But nobody ever accused him of hanging out with underage picnic, with Kentucky and MTR, and I eat coleslaw out of them underage pum pum. And this fool who had tried to use the man for win election, The only response he could come up with is that them not concerned. When they need to send his ugly Vybz Kartel. Nobody ever concerned about him. Now them worse to concern about him. Them get what them want from him. Him come a conference, boost up the conference, create all kind of excitement, wearing the orange handkerchief, give ice at the sea, donate the $2 million, whatever. Yada, 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 yada. Them done with him. Him not do nothing more. Even though them would have loved to have him look longer. To put on a concert at Portmore and put on one concert down there so and Vybz Kartel a come and him and Mark a tried and that was the whole plan. Maybe that is still the plan. Maybe Vybz Kartel just a break this up because him want to him sure to be successful. But this fool, this frill mouth fool, come out with him frill frefra mouth. Looking insipid. And this is what he said in response to the man. The party is not concerned. Which is basically a slap in the face to say to Vybz Kartel, go on, what do we do? We don't use you. Yeah, you come a conference and we big you up and we done with you. So we're not concerned about what you're doing right now. And it brings to bear again. Does Vybz Kartel also realize that when he was out there with them, that was not the entire PMP? Because the PMP is such a divided organization, there's still a good part of the PMP that was not impressed with him, Vybz Kartel, being at PMP conference, at the PMP podium, the very said podium that Michael Manley has spoken from, and PJ Patterson, and Portia Simpson Miller, and just maybe, by how was before him, Peter Phillips. The very side podium. Yeah. And now, the party is not concerned. Them just throw him away. And they never thought that they could offer him some help. They just wanted a piece of him to use him. But nobody said to him, listen to my Vybz, you don't look so well, you know. Nobody not said to him. Everybody tells him look nice. And him clocks look good and him clothes look good and everything everybody tell him because everybody want to get them piece of him and them 5 minutes of fame. Some people got 10 and 15 minutes of it. So nobody was saying to him, boss man, nobody pull him aside and say, listen to me man, I love you and my brethren. But you need to get some help. You need to come out of the spotlight, drop the TikTok thing, stop the open money counting on TikTok and stop that foolishness. Go get some help and come back fresh and nice for your concert. Stay out of the public eye until your concert. Let your team work the thing for you. Let your team work it. Let your PR, let your strategists, let them people that deal with the media, the everything. And Vybz Kartel, who is an accomplished and talented artist, by natural God-given talent. God bestowed him with those talents. God never give Date no talent. Him born with a natural instinct for learn, so him turn doctor. But for him, talent is to sleep with underage picnic. And Vybz Kartel, a talented artist, vibrant, who have had enormous impact on some of our youngsters. And this is what Dayton Campbell had to respond to say. The party is not concerned. The party is not concerned by Vybz Kartel, by Kartel's neutral stance. I hope I have it right. This is his response after the man come out, protecting his business and protecting his brand. Catch himself way long after, 1 month plus after, catch himself and see that this foray, this little adventure with Mark Golding and the PMP is hurting his business. Hurting his business. And decide to draw breaks on it. And Dayton Campbell, as a medical doctor, couldn't find anything better to say. Couldn't find a thing else to say. He couldn't come out and say, well, we love Kartel. We understand him have to deal with him business. We appreciate him, we're there for him. couldn't come out and say that. Want big him up. No one couldn't say that. This frill mouth frefre never was, has been, riffraff, pedophile. Couldn't find nothing else to say. Except to diss the man. Except to diss the man. The party is not concerned. Is not concerned. Are the two words, you know. Not concerned. It couldn't say the party understands Kartel's decision. We love him and we support him and nothing. It couldn't say that because that was suiting politics. The party is not concerned. Mr. Kartel, a man of your stature need to have people around you who are going to tell you the damn truth whether you fucking like it or not. People are going to tell you what you don't want to hear, but that you need to hear. And if you don't have them kind of people around, that make you a narcissist. And that makes you kind of a one-man band. And maybe that worked 13 years ago, it's not going to work anymore. Because after serving 13 years in prison for a murder charge, is a different dispensation. You walk out those doors in a different world where people going to judge you. Some people will believe that you did not, and some people will believe that you did. And it is those minds you need to change. But by taking the stance that you did, by running up and down with the PNP, and their conference going on with all kind of crap, you find yourself in hot water. You actually find yourself in cold hot water. So now you have to take a step back to go save your concert. Probably save your brand. My advice to you, sir, you do have to take it, because I'm not a therapist nor a psychologist or anything at all like that. My advice to you is to hire some people, man. Get some people who will speak to your media, people who look about your well-being, people who have the nerve to tell you to go see somebody. Go talk to somebody. People who will do that if they care about you. If they love you as they say that they do. If I was one of your fans, I would have tell you. But I'm not. So I'm just mouthing off. That's all I'm doing. Because it tee me off in a worse kind of way to look at Vybz Kartel and see everything I'm going through. Every time he posts a video, and once it reaches me, once somebody show me something. But from the beginning, I haven't seen anything for a couple of weeks now, but I mean from the beginning, every time you see him in public, you can see the hurt. You can see the turmoil going on inside of him. And him just putting his best foot forward. And him needs some help, and him needs somebody to help him. He needs some people to say to him, say, make we help you. And nobody's stepping up to that plate. Him going through it alone, by himself. By himself, basically. His wife is there with him, but he's by himself, him going through all of this, because nobody's going to have this conversation with him. And this medical doctor, only response to that is the party is not concerned. Somebody speak to Vybz Kartel. Can somebody who's a friend of his or a family member speak to him, man? I'm going to give him some advice. Let him know that it's not going to help him. Might help him in the short run, not going to help him in the long run. I'm going to burn some fire upon that pedophile for what he said. It's a disgrace. He is a disgrace. A divided PNP, use a man, not young anymore, who spent 13 years in prison for a heinous crime, still battling him demons, and the PNP General Secretary and Chairman took him up and exposed him to the world, and then tell him that they are not concerned about what he does or says. Thank you all for listening to me. God bless you all. Stay safe, everybody. And please do keep your children safe.